Do you struggle with inconsistent chipping? Maybe it's because you're only using one club around the green. In today's video, I'm going to show you how my 5-step easy process to improve your chipping will help lower your scores, have that competitive edge over your playing partners, and start having more fun on the golf course today. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Justin Reich. I'm the PGA head golf professional here at Magnolia Greens in Leland, North Carolina. In today's video, I'm going to show you a 5-step simple process to start improving your short game. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty folks, for step 1, we're going to talk about what clubs you should be chipping with. Yes, I said clubs, not club. So this goes out to all the golfers that only chip with one golf club. Specifically, my students that I work with always love to grab their lob wedge. They're not wrong, but if you have a hammer in your toolbox, is that all you're going to use to fix your house? No, you're going to use a screwdriver, a wrench, whatever other tools are in there. So I want you to think of your golf bag as your toolbox, all right? So learn how to hit a 9-iron, a 6-iron, a hybrid, a fairway wood. Use them all, learn them. Figure out what works great for you and have a 3-club system that you can rely on every time. You know, I look at Seve Ballesteros. When he went out and hit bunker shots, he learned how to hit bunker shots with a 4-iron. A 4-iron, folks. He hit the same type of shot that you and I would hit out of a bunker with a lob wedge with a 4-iron. Absolutely amazing. So in step 1, I want you to experiment with all the clubs in your bag and figure out what works great for you, and then figure out what 3 clubs give you the best chance to help start lowering your scores. In step 2, we're going to talk about how we set up to our chip shots. Alrighty folks, for step 2, we're going to talk about how do we set up. In setup, I look at how far our feet are apart, so our stance width, where we are in relation to the body as far as leaning forward, leaning back, what our shoulders look like, all right? So in setup, what I would love is the ball position to be kind of in the middle to the back portion of your feet. Your stance should be roughly 1 club head width apart. And then at that point, all right, so I'm standing here pretty level with the ground. I want to take my sternum, so if you have buttons on your shirt or a zipper, all right, and I want to lean it forward just in front of the golf ball. This helps control the low point of the club. When it comes through and hits the ball, you should be hitting the ground almost in front of it simultaneously, all right? The other thing we want to make sure we do is make sure the butt of the club, all right, is going to be underneath the sternum as well. And then the last checkpoint to make sure when we swing, we're not going to hit any chunks or thins. We're going to actually make sure our shoulders stay level to the ground and not tilt like we're trying to hit a driver. All right. So everything together here, feet about club width apart, give or take, leaning towards my target, a little bit of weight forward. My sternum is in front of the golf ball. Shaft is this way. My shoulders are as level as they possibly can. And then we're going to make this strike. Now, stay tuned for part 3 because we're going to get closer to the golf ball. Alrighty folks, for step 3, we're going to talk about how far away from the golf ball do we stand when we chip. Now, you've got to understand some things. I've got 2 clubs here. I've got my 50-degree wedge and my 8-iron. So they're different lengths, different lie angles. When I take a full swing stance with my 50-degree, you can see how far away from the golf ball it is. Now, if I'm chipping, I'm moving a little bit closer to the handle. The ball moves up a little bit. This helps me take the club back straighter and through as I go. Now, if I'm going to chip with my 8-iron, why would I want to have a full swing when this is a longer club? I want to get closer to it, and this is going to be a lower running type shot. So if I do everything that I did in the previous steps, this is going to be a whole lot easier to hit the shot closer than it is from further away. Now, in part 4, we're going to talk about how the butt moves, and I'm not talking about this butt, I'm talking about this butt. Alrighty folks, for step 4, we're going to talk about how the butt moves. And we're not talking about this butt, we're talking about the club handle butt of the grip. All right, so when I see most of my students, what happens is when they're chipping and they're inconsistent, I see a lot of butt motion as far as the handle of the club and the wrist getting really, really flippy. So what we want to think of when we're getting ready to start working on our technique and chipping is, yes, the handle and the club work together as one, but so doesn't the rest of our body. There should be one fluid motion, kind of feel like they're connected all the way through. And if we put everything together from the other 3 steps to this step, making sure the butt doesn't flip like that, we should be able to hit a pretty good chip shot. This will help with consistency and giving you better chip shots. Now, for step 5, we're going to talk about technique versus playing. Alrighty folks, in step 5, we're going to take what we've done on the practice green and put it out here at the golf course. So if you've had 3 different clubs that you've been working with, maybe it's a 8-iron, a sand wedge, and a 60-degree wedge, that's great. When you're out playing Saturday afternoon with your friends, those are the times to go ahead and let's try a 5-iron or a hybrid, and work on those situations, figuring out what maybe possibly works great on the golf course, and then take it back to the chipping green and hone those in. But when you're out playing for money or you're playing for a club championship, take those 3 clubs that you've been practicing with the most and gives you the best result. That's what we want to use. But we got to make sure we use the 4 steps. And those 4 steps are, again, all right, stance width, right? We want to make sure that we're about 1 club head width apart. We want to make sure that our sternum is in front of the golf ball, so our weight's a little bit further on the front foot. The club is going to be underneath. We're going to be standing a little bit closer to the golf ball. Now, when we swing, we want to make sure the butt of the club and our hands don't start moving too much, right? We want this club and our body to rotate and work together as one, and hopefully chip shots that look like this. And hopefully you hit a great shot and it goes close to the hole and you have an easy tap in for par. Alrighty folks, there you have it. 5 steps to improve your chipping, to start lowering your scores, have that competitive edge over your playing partners, and having more fun on the golf course today. If you would do me a huge favor and please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then comment on my video, what is the best piece of chipping advice you've ever gotten? Or what do you struggle with the most in chipping? And I'll do my best to answer them. And then share this with a friend that maybe could use some help with their chipping. If you'd like to come see me here in person at Magnolia Greens, I'll leave that booking link in the description below. And if you can't get to me, that's okay too. I do have an online teaching academy and I'll leave that in the description below as well. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.